And welcome everybody to a new episode of No She's in the House. Why do I always have to burp like right when I start? Maybe that's when I get nervous and I get gassy. God, that would suck. Nervous and gassy. Oh my God. Megan, the jazzercise expert that I was talking to a few weeks ago, had told me that when she gets nervous, she wants to shit herself. I'm just getting gassy. Is it contagious? Is it contagious? I swear to God, if she gave me like this gassiness, I'm gonna be livid. I'm gonna be livid. I am. Um, I mean, I know I'm typically not gassy. I don't think so. Okay, so that's not true. I mean, I gassy, but like no more than like a regular person. I think a regular person. See, I don't really have that conversation with people. I don't really like walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, so do you get gassy often?" It's not like a thing that I do. Not like a common, not like an icebreaker. You know, most of the time, it's just, "Hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. How are your kids? How's your family? How's your mom? How are your bowel movements? How's your GI tract? You know, does that feel? Is it going well? Is it passing through? You know, you feeling a little gassy lately? Feel a little bubbling in the gut? Definitely not like a thing. At least I don't think it's a thing. I have something special in line for. I'm going to start doing some smaller episodes that are only going to be a minute long, something regarding current events or a summary of the whole episode. But it's going to be in the form of a song because I I can write music, but I can't create music though. Like I can't make a beat. I can't play an instrument. My mother tried to get me to play piano when I was a kid because Asian kids do it and Asian kids are smart. What she told me. That was her whole selling point was you should play the piano because Asian kids do it and Asian kids are smart. Basically saying my son is stupid. My younger brother took to it. My younger brother Leo, who's the middle of the three brothers, he plays like 30 instruments. She made both of us play, and then he just played really good. My ADHD had started kicking in by then, so I was gone. Nope. But I've always been good at songwriting just because it's words and I'm good with words. Not because I want to be good with words, I just am. I think I get it from my dad too, because he doesn't shut the fuck up ever. He makes friends in the strangest places just because he can. He knows about 6 or 7 dirty words or phrases from about like 10 different languages. He knows how to say vagina, dick, nice tits, and have a nice day in like 10 different languages. But yeah, that's something that I'm including in there. Yeah, but it never stuck. It never stuck. I mean, I understand my mom's logic when it comes to that. To, Asian kids are smart. You should learn how to play the piano. I don't think she understood, right, the the actual science behind it when she made us do that. But she did understand that classical music does help cognitive function in children, help them develop more advanced neural pathways and stuff like that. She didn't know that back then, but now that's basically it. Right? Baby Einstein, all the Baby Einstein stuff you see, all the things that they say, have your kid listen to Mozart, have your kid listen to Beethoven. The complexity in the musical notes and the structure of the song actually helps your child develop more advanced or more neural pathways to help them with cognitive function in their later years. Or as my mother said, Asian kids play piano and they're smart. Right? That's what she said. That's what she said. That was her thing. Right? That was her thing. My family has always been really big on not being a stereotype. Don't be a stereotype Latino. Don't be a loser who never moves out of his mom's house, who works some dead end job, and who is just a burden on society. Right? It was always don't be a stereotype, and she always told us that, and I think it was funny because of that, and because of my ability to kind of just always be in a brand new location, whether it's a new school or a new city or a new something else. It's always me leaving alone and me kind of branching out and starting something there on my own. But it's because of that. It's very rarely that I've been with kind of people that I like, the same type of people that I grew up with. Because I don't want to say I grew up in the poorest area in LA. I definitely did not. It wasn't like Watts or South Central or places like that. It was right next to it though. So, I mean, yes, I had been robbed at gunpoint for a burrito. Um, I had been chased on the street, uh, trying, almost basically for the purpose of getting beat up and robbed. I have, as a kid, you kind of just steal stuff from liquor stores and things like that. I don't know why I did that, but that's basically like the neighborhood that I grew up in, something like that. So I never wanted to be any of that, um, which is why I just never really felt I connected with any of the people back there. But I did know, or I did feel every time that I would move into another city and I would talk to people that were like of a little bit of a higher socioeconomic status, I felt that I connected better in terms of likes and dislikes, because I hung around in I grew up in the hood, air quotes. um and I grew up in a Latino hood, in a brown hood, in a Mexican hood, not in a black hood. That's different. We were more like 95% Latino, 5% black. But when you go into certain, like South Central or like Watts, it's more like 90%. Oh, I'd say probably about 70% black, about 30% Latino, give or take. And you get like the random one white kid or like the one Asian kid that's there. A handful of like Lebanese kids. All their parents owned all the clothing stores around us, you know. But moving to, let's say, Orange County, where I first left to, aside from Pomona when I went to college, was predominantly Asian, predominantly white. I was a token black guy. I was the because I was a guy who had tattoos, who would have a beard, who would just not blend in. But it was because of that these people had these automatic assumptions about me just because of the way that I looked. And countless times people thought, do you sell weed? It's like, no, I don't sell weed. Oh, do you smoke weed? No, no, I don't really smoke weed. Oh, okay. What kind of car do you drive? No, it's not a lowrider. It's just poor man like everybody else. And it it is funny because there's plenty of times growing up where um I pissed off some white guy or some black guy or some Asian guy because I was dating either like a friend or a girl that they knew that was also their race. And if you know me, I, for the most part, don't date Latinas. I just, it's very tough for me to find a Latina that I connect with. And uh, they're mean. They're just mean. And it hasn't, I don't want to say mean, but they're feisty. And I just don't have that energy to kind of battle it out with them. Most Latinas will, I'm not even joking, will get in a full blown fight with you, punch you in the face, yell at you, call you all types of names or everything else, and then still expect to go out, still expect that you guys are still going to be together. At least from the neighborhood that I grew up in, at least. I'm saying this in general. Don't anybody get all uppity and pissed off. That's just what it is. So most of the time I was dating outside of my race. I was always like the first. It was always me asking this question: have you ever dated a Latino before? No, you're the first one that I've dated that is not, you know, white. Or an Asian girl would be like, no, you're the first one that I've dated that's not Asian. And I'd be like, all right, cool. And it always just piss off some dude. some local a-hole who's just not who just didn't like seeing that and stuff like that. Like, I'm used to getting looks. I've been my entire life, I've been used to getting looks. It was always, but in the back of my mind, I always had that same thing, like, don't be a stereotype, don't be a stereotype. Which is why I don't speak Spanglish. I'm not a fan of the whole Spanglish and blending thing, like speaking English and Spanish. No, I can speak both very, very much individually and perfectly fine. I don't want to speak Spanglish. I think it sounds shitty. And the times that I did go to Colombia and they would hear Spanglish, or they would hear me speaking very, very poorly pronounced or poor um, uh, uh, word, kind of just diction, just overall conversational Spanish that I was having. If it was bad, they'd make fun of me. So I didn't like that. I was like, hey, fuck you. I can speak just fine. So much so, I bought a thesaurus once. There's something for you. I bought a thesaurus because I wanted to get really, really good at Spanish. I learned, majority of it from my parents and things like that. Because I don't know if you've grown up with parents that are from, a third world country. It's, you speak English out in the streets, but at home you only speak Spanish, or you only speak whatever other language you know. Being bilingual is a skill. Being bilingual is a tool. Watch, being bilingual, you're going to be able to get a lot more jobs. I mean, to be honest, they give you like about an extra quarter per hour. It's not. I like Spanish. It's all fine, but regardless, it was always some white dude just kind of with a stick in his ass, just saying the most racist things to me because I took his girl, and it was always funny. It was on. I think one of my favorite ones was I had some guy called me Taco Bender, which I didn't understand what that meant because during that time I was really big into Futurama, so I was thinking Taco Bender. I was like the robot, and it wasn't until about probably about like 3 years ago or something that I realized it was like, oh, he means the guy who bends the tacos. Holy shit, that's a good one. And this guy had told me this, like, I don't know, 2010 or something like that, 2011, like 13, 14 years ago. But that was a good one. You know who you are. Called me a taco bender. Yeah. Um, that is one thing. That is one thing that other races will find difficult in kind of getting through to Latinos is our entire culture shows love by roasting you, by talking shit to your face. The entire family foundation, the foundation of who you know your friends are and who are the people that you love and who are the people that you care about is based off who talks shit to you to your face. All the people, for the most part, I'm not going to say everybody, but for the most part, all the people in Latino culture that are around you that talk shit to your face, say they roast you, they make fun of you, they insult your hair, your hairline, your weight, your height, the size of your dick, just whatever. But they say it to your face, that means they like you. Because behind your back, they might say things like for example, my friend Tim, who's one of my closest friends, he's a white guy, and I always say, yeah, Tim, you're pathetic, man. You're a loser. You're balding. You're hideous. You're overweight. All these terrible things to his face, and we laugh about it. He grew up in Long Beach. He's very familiar with the Latino culture. He speaks Spanish too, but so he understands that, and he tells me the same things. He says things like, "You look like uh, uh, you look like the gorilla from Tarzan. You look like He's like, you're just a beaner, man." He just tells me these terrible racist things. Now, again, I'm not throwing Tim under the bus because that's the way him and I communicate. And but outside of that, like outside of us having a conversation in public in front of other people and them thinking we're really about to go at it, at the end of every kind of discussion is, all right, man, I love you, buddy. I'll see you later. Okay, bye. It's always just a message of me. Anytime anybody asks me about him, I'm like, honestly, man, he's one of my closest friends. I haven't known him as long as some of my other really close friends, but he's like a brother to me. Like I appreciate his friendship very much. He's a great father. He is what I would want to be as a father. Um, the relationship that he has with his family is something that I would be striving for myself to provide for my own. But then to his face, I say, "You bald alopecia bitch," things like that. So it's difficult for any other race to say racial things to a Latino when that's just the culture. Like you talk shit to me, it's not going to bother me all that much. You can try, and yeah, I'm gonna being honest. Like sometimes people say things and you get upset because you want to show the other person that you don't like them, because it just might be somebody, a random person telling you something about yourself or insulting you or whatever, and you're in a heated argument with a stranger in the street. He calls you a spick, and then all of a sudden you start yelling back at him. You call him a cracker, a honky, whatever. You drop the M bomb. A bunch of other stuff will happen. But the truth is, you're not really that mad. You're just kind of more like, I mean, we don't have to call each other names, man. Like honestly, I think it's kind of funny. I think it's kind of funny that that's like the best you got, because because you combine two different things, right? So men typically, in general, we insult ourselves as like a form of love. It's just the way it is. But you combine that with the Latino culture, and we go hard, man. Like we go deep. Like we'll make fun of, we go, oh yeah, yeah, you're a piece of shit, man. Your parents got divorced and your mom died because of you. You know that, right? Like she killed herself because she couldn't stand the thought of how ugly you were. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry she took her own life. Your father abandoned you because he couldn't stand the sight of you. I mean, it's just not my fault that you were born the way you were. You don't look like any of them. Yeah, I love him, man. He's a great guy. He's a top notch guy. I'd recommend him to anybody. Right? That's what you do. That's what you do. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't know. It was something that's really funny. That's really funny. But I was touching I was having a conversation today with actually no, I wasn't having a conversation. I was listening to a to a podcast, and they were talking about universal basic income, UBI, which is basically the idea is through the transition through artificial intelligence kind of taking over, eliminating a lot of blue collar jobs. The government would provide a stipend, a monthly stipend, to help families through the transition until they're able to acclimate to basically the new way society will be. Because artificial general intelligence is coming. So, that's that. Whether it's good or bad, I don't know. It can be both. It can be good and bad, right? With When it came to that, I called my mom and I wanted to ask her because clearly, I don't, if you've been around the last 5 years, COVID messed us up all financially pretty bad, and tons of people lost their job. You know, thousands of people, families got divorced because they couldn't stand each other anymore throughout that time. Apparently, COVID gives people autism because tons of new people got diagnosed with autism that were just recently born. There are a lot of COVID babies. And well, I had a conversation with her, and I asked her, hey, what are your thoughts with universal basic income? And before she gave me her answer, I asked, I was like, what was the most difficult time that you remember um, while myself and my brothers were children? That was the most difficult time for you guys to survive as a family, like both my mother and my father and three kids. And without hesitation, my mom says, during Desert Storm, she goes, the Desert Storm was in 1990, from 1990 to 1991. It was when the U.S. invaded Kuwait to kill Saddam Hussein. And my dad, being a general contractor, a construction worker, she said nobody was building anything. She said that's just what it was, and it was. I said, so you guys never? I was like, did you guys get on welfare? Because the initial conversation with universal basic income was, do you feel that people would abuse of welfare? And I mean, yes, they would. Not everybody would, but yeah, they would. Why not? I mean, people abuse of everything as it is right now. You saw what happened with like the Chase accounts. People found a glitch that they saw on fucking TikTok, and all of a sudden people started robbing Chase. Like most people will do something if they think they can get away with it. Like that's the truth. If you think you can get away with it, most people will do it. And this applies to a lot of things, a lot of different things in life. If you think that there is something that you can do that, let's say, is frowned upon, but you can get, you're convinced you can get away with it, chances are you'll do it. Don't say you won't. Don't lie and say you won't, because you will. It may not be to the same extent as somebody else would, like Robin Chase for $30,000, but cheating on your diet, right? Taking a longer lunch at work, right? Cheating on your spouse. Had to throw that one in there. I mean, it's on everybody's mind, right? Things like stealing somebody's pen. You know, they're all there. So, and I asked her about that. I was like, "Did you guys ever take welfare?" And she said, "No, we never did." She said, "We were so proud." She says, "Our pride would not let us take it." And I said, "Really? Why is that?" She said, "Your father refused. Your father said, I will find a way to make it work." And he did. I mean, him, my mother, 3 children, throughout that time, during that time, my mom was still going to school. My mom was still, I believe she had already gotten her GED or getting her GED and kind of going into community college around that time. And even she didn't. And I was like, wow. I was like, you know what? I was like, I don't remember that time specifically, but I do remember times where we were so poor that the only thing that we had to eat was tortillas. This is like Mexican sour cream and salt. Well, that was it. That was all we had. Now, I was a kid. I didn't think anything about it. You know, 2 tortillas fill me up. I'm solid, man. Let's do this. I mean, yes, it's all carbs, but it didn't matter. And she was telling me, she goes, yeah. She goes, we used to spend $40. I used to have $40 a week to spend on groceries. $40 a week. $40 a week. What can you do with $40 a week? I'm trying to think. I'm sure if I really tried, really tried, I could probably stretch that out to make it maybe make a week, but it would be terrible. And I wouldn't be able to get soda. And shit, I mean, if you know me, I do like soda. I wouldn't be able to get that. You know, I'd probably have to eat my dogs because their dog food alone is 15. I spend about $25 a week on them. Sorry guys, you guys are dead. Yeah. But she was too proud. She was so proud. So proud about that. And I respect that. Because she told me she didn't do it, even though they were starving. We were starving. I was hungry, bitch. I'm joking. Don't say that to your mother. That's wrong. She also told me that my grandmother also refused it. She refused it for as long as she could. Now, the only reason that she decided to finally take it, and it was only for the Medicare, was because she was also taking care of my uncle who has special needs. Special needs as in my uncle is mildly retarded. He looks like he's 60 years old. He's probably in his 50s, maybe 60, somewhere around there. He looks like he's 60 years old, but he has the mind of a 4-year-old. And it's true what they say. He loves 2 things: titties and wrestling. That's it. And and that's the only reason she got it was to help her support him. She was a tough ass bitch, man. My grandmother was a tough ass bitch. And my family, when they initially came to the States, right? When they initially came to the States, from what I remember, my mom was a teenager. At least that's what she told me. My mom was a teenager. My grandmother crossed the border, already being a U.S. citizen. They were all U.S. citizens, because my grandmother was actually born in Texas. Now, uh, and they used to travel the United States, going to pick fruit and going to pick oranges, strawberries. They just went around the country picking the whatever produce was um, uh, was uh, growing at that time, or was cropping. I don't know how the fuck you say it, because it's been so long. I don't fucking pick fruit. They did. When it was time to harvest, there it is. That's what it is. I'm trying to think about it. And they did that. They did that. They picked oranges. They picked strawberries. They picked lettuce. They picked everything. Apples. All everything you think of. And I had told her, I had told her, um, I brought this up to her, and she was like, "Yeah, we did." I was like, "You know what?" I was like, thinking, circling back with that. I was like, I've always known my family had that life before they became who they are right now. I mean, my mother's getting her doctorate. My dad's an engineer. Nobody in my family picks fruit anymore. Most of my first generation born cousins all have multiple degrees. They all have careers. They're all living the American dream, right? And I had told her that growing up in Orange County used to be a big orange grove, Orange County, California. And there's still a few farms there. There's still a few farms, big farms where people go and they pick pumpkins and shit like that. And they get Christmas trees. It's there. Now, I had told her that there is a fascination with people, with upper middle class families, and women in particularly, for whatever reason, where they like that experience. They like the experience of going out and having this bonding moment where you're with your babe or you're with your kids and you're out there picking strawberries and you're out on the field. You're like, oh, look at this strawberry. This one's a great one. Oh my God, it's so cool. I got my fucking sun hat. I got my sundress. I'm looking cute as fuck. I'm out here for 30 fucking minutes. It's 72 degrees outside. It's gorgeous. They got water stands. I got myself a fucking margarita. And I told her the truth. I said, Mom, people in this generation right now, at least with the people that we have now surrounded ourselves with, people pay something about like $20 to $30 or so to go to a farm to pick strawberries, pick apples, pick oranges. People pay. They don't work. No, they have their full-time jobs. Then the way that they spend their money from their full-time job, they tell themselves, I am going to spend my money picking fucking fruit. She lost her shit. It was great. It was great. What? But you're telling me that some stupid person pays to go pick fresas? Yeah, Mom. I've been asked on dates to go do this. They want me to pay to go pick fruit. I've told them, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to send my people back 50 years. You gotta be kidding me. They pay to pick fruit. I know. It sounds ridiculous. I've turned it down so many times. Cute. He's cute. He's fucking cute. Do they think it's cute to be 9 hours out in the sun in the middle of fucking Florida picking oranges, worried about fucking snakes? I don't know, Mom. I mean, I just know that I've said no multiple times. So listen here, Junior. If they tell you that again, You let me talk to them. Let me tell them, look, little girl, do you want to go pick fruit? Go do it. 60 hours a week for $2 an hour, 9 hours a day, 7 days a week. It is not cute. It is not fun. You don't have a sundress. You don't have a cute hat. You're fucking sweating and you smell and your back hurt and you're hungry and you're thirsty and it is terrible. Qué estupidez son esas pendejas. Te digo que yo no entiendo que como una persona que no quiere pagar para ir a sacar fruta del piso. Imbéciles. I know. She got real ethnic there. Yeah. It was hilarious. It was hilarious because I thought the same thing, but the way that she explained it, having actually done it, was great. Was great. It's like, you think it's cute? How about you go do it as a full-time job and you go get paid $3 a fucking hour to go pick fruit? You do not look cute. You sweat, you stink, you smell, you don't have a sun hat. I loved it. I thought it was great. I wish I actually recorded that conversation because I know that somebody it would probably like illuminate some people, enlighten some people. Because like, I'm not gonna do that. That's another reason. And yes, coming out in Nevada, people out here they hike and they go outdoorsy and stuff like that. But white women love to hike. I don't understand why. They like to go on like a 6-hour hike or a 4-hour hike, and they're the same thing. It's like, it's a cute. I got my hiking boots. I got my North Face pants. I got my Patagonia jacket. I got USP or UFP 500 on my fucking skin. I got my cute little sunglasses. No, I don't want to hike. My father crossed from South America to North America fucking hiking. We are on this date because my father went on the ultimate fucking hike. I don't want to go hike for fun. It's just one of those things that I will never understand. You know, I will never understand. I understand going for a walk in a park. I get it. It's nice. It looks cute and stuff like that. But actually, extraneous work, going to go hike because it's cute, not for me. Not for me. I mean, those are like two things that I know just third world country parents are not into. They don't want to do. They don't think it's fun. And I'm surprised there's, offspring or kids of third world parents that think it is cute. It's not. It sucks. I'm not gonna send my people back. I'm not gonna be a stereotype. Granted, that's not a stereotype. But it's like they got paid $3 an hour. I'm not gonna pay $20 to go sweat in the sun to pick some fucking strawberries, man. Nah, people do that shit for a living. It's like you're never gonna have somebody say, you know what? I see that there's a call center and it looks like it's super, super fun. Let's go pay $4 an hour to go be in a call center and just mock being in a call center for customer service for a cable company. Oh my God, that's going to be so much fun. We should totally go on a date for that. No, it's terrible. Terrible idea. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. That all kind of circled back because I went hiking today. That's for another day. Thank you so much, everybody, for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. You know what? I decided to name the podcast. I decided to call it No Shoes in the House. It was something that I had thought about a really long time ago, but I didn't want to do it because it didn't really have like a specific title or things like that. And I did see that there was somebody who already had it, but you know what? Theirs fucking sucks. Mine is a lot better, and we're just gonna go with that. Again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Have a good one. If you don't, go fuck yourself.